welcome back to another sculpture video. I hope you like that intro there. It's kind of a new idea for me, but this is gonna be a kind of semi-rubber figure of the Pyroraptor from Jurassic World Dominion. I really wanted to try my hand at feather raptors, and so I tried this. Now, I feel like there was an easier way to do this. In fact, I know there's an easier way to do this than I actually did. So, but trial and error. But regardless, I hope you kind of like it. It's a very fuzzy Pyroraptor, and that's because I used actual feathers. I found these feathers online on Amazon that I thought kind of semi-matched it. They're a little oranger. I think the Pyroraptor is a little more red, but I still think it works. And I found them on Amazon. I kind of cut the little fibers and stuff and just kind of try to glue them on. Again, I think I probably could have made this into an art doll. Just kind of took some faux fur and cut it and sewn it together, and that probably would have been so much easier. And I could have also saved on making, so many, big molds and everything. But regardless, like I said, we do trial and error here, and so I still think this came out pretty cool looking. I like how it looks. I hope y'all do too. But let's go ahead and get right to the video. So starting off, we're actually doing something different here. Instead of using tinfoil, I'm actually using tape. Taking a little inspiration from old Marco Mix. If you know of his channel, you know what I mean. But if not, definitely check out his channel. He makes really awesome kind of rubber dinosaur figures and stuff like that. And so I'm kind of using tape here because my idea was I wanted a smoother surface so that I had an easier time prying off the clay pieces. Because essentially, as you'll be seeing here, I wanted to make every kind of body part into two pieces so that so that I could split them apart and make molds of each side, and that way I'd have these thin, basically outer layers, or like skin layers or whatever, so that when I connected them together, I just kind of put stuffing in there, and that way the idea was that the figures would be more flexible, and they actually kind of were. I was able to kind of pose them a little better. The problem is that, again, because I went with like gluing fibers together, the fibers were kind of falling off, so it's kind of hard to pose them. So they are still a little more stiff, but that's only because of the fibers. But regardless, you can see I'm putting in the clay detail here. I'm trying to make each piece into a two-piece. And so, yeah, that's kind of my input into this section. So I'll just go ahead and let you watch, and you'll see for yourself. And I'll just pop in every once in a while to kind of explain something. But, yeah, here we go. I wanted to just come in real quick and say that to kind of split up the pieces or to keep them from like fusing together, I kept, most of the time I was just trying to keep cutting the lines so that they didn't, fuse. But I also used Vaseline or petroleum jelly, I believe. and I coated the figure. Not too much. I didn't want thick chunks because then that would kind of mess up the pieces a bit. But I kept putting petroleum jelly so that when they cured, they didn't fuse together, and I could just pry them off. But another thing right here is that I actually was making the face. And as you'll see later, so earlier I put in these they weren't clay, like the epoxy pieces or eyes. I actually used the, like this sticky tack just so that they could stick to the tape. But I used this sticky tack and I essentially made these, faux eyes for now. Just so that when I was sculpting the head, the eye cavity would be hollow. And that was because I wanted to try and make a glass, or in this case, more so a resin eye. So that it could have more of that kind of glass eye effect. But, that's about it for now. I'll let you keep watching. I didn't realize I'd be interjecting so soon, but I actually want to explain this real quick. So what I was doing here, and again, you see what I'm doing with the petroleum jelly. So I wanted to do the mouth into separate pieces. So I wanted there to be, obviously, the outer layer would be rubber. The inner, the teeth, there would be a teeth section, and that would be, that would essentially be, resin. I wanted there to be kind of a hard layer of resin for the teeth, and then the inside would be kind of the inner mouth. And so essentially each part would have 3 layers, and it was going to be difficult because for such a small figure, that was going to be a very complex sort of design. But I want to try and get that, and I kind of got it down. But, as you can see here, here's the teeth. But I kind of got it down, but it's just still, it could have been a little better in execution. But I still think I did a pretty decent job for the most part. Now here comes kind of the, so I already made the molds. I kind of forgot to film that, but here comes the, making the rubber pieces. And again, you've seen me do the rubber pieces before. I used Polytech. It's a 2-part. I mixed it together, and you gotta get a good mixture, like a good half and half. Otherwise, it's gonna be too sticky. But I got a good mixture going, and yeah, just made these molds here. And yeah, so that's about it for now, and I'll just come back later. Now, real quick, I just wanted to show, here's the kind of resin pieces that I'm painting up, but I'm painting the inside of them, and the reason why I'm doing that is because I got this idea from looking at how some people paint some glass eyes. I wanted to paint the inside so that there's kind of that, look of it, looking like it's following you, and then from there on, so I painted the pupil, and then I just painted, the rest of the eyeballs, and yeah, I think it came out pretty decent. Now with the painting, so I just wanted to paint the skin layer basically, and for that I did like kind of a very bright white as a base, just so that I could kind of get the bright white into like whitish gray into the deep crevices of the sculpture, like the details and stuff. And then pretty much after that, I would just do a bunch of dry brushing of grays. And I would just try to get as, just darker, just a gradual darkness, and just have some areas be a little darker than other, like the belly be brighter and the, like upper body be darker and all that, and have some like pebbles be dark and stuff. And then I painted the mouth kind of a pinkish red, and then I did like a kind of a yellowish white for the teeth, just so that there's some differentiation there and stuff. And thus came the feathers. And again, I don't show a lot of the process for this, but that's just because I was kind of all over the place with this. But I tried to glue the bigger feathers first, and from there on I would cut the orange like fibers of the feathers and like just glue it together. Again, I probably could have done an art doll. I already said that a bunch earlier, but either way, I think it came out all right. But yeah, and there's kind of the tail, and yeah, so I'll let you get to the rest. And that's pretty much the end of the video. Now, and I already showed you the kind of like close-ups of the figure earlier. Here's just kind of a picture of it right now. And I mean, I think it came out pretty, again, pretty good. I did, once I found another technique I could have done this, I did feel a little like foolish. I was like, oh man, I could have done this so much simpler. A part of me really wants to redo this, just so that it could come out better. But I mean, that could be for another time. There's like other stuff I got to get to, plus obviously real life. I can't just be fixated on the same thing over and over again. So yeah, for now I'm happy with this. I like how it came out. I have it sitting on my desk. And yeah, I also want to show off these other kind of Pyroraptors I did. They're actually just all black. I did all black feathers. I also, instead of doing like the individual fibers, I actually just cut chunks of the feathers out and try to shape them into like kind of feather shaped designs, and then I just glued those just to kind of save up on some time. I think I did like 4 of them. And I mean, I am thinking about taking these to like some like marketplace or something like that, just somewhere physical where I could see if I could sell them in person. And yeah, just go on from there. And maybe if I have enough funds, then I'll see if in enough time, I'll see if I can come back and kind of tackle this creature again. But regardless, I think that's gonna be about it. Yeah, like I said, it's just really cool, and I want to know what y'all think. If y'all check out this video and if y'all are interested and y'all like it, I want let me know what y'all think. Did you like it? Do you think I succeeded? Obviously I know where I could have done better, but if you have another idea, just let me know. Maybe I could use those ideas for future sculptures if I ever want to do like another kind of feathered dinosaur. And keep in mind, this is a fairly small scale. This isn't like big. So, yeah, just, keep that in mind. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Check out my Instagram page, Giovanni Arts and Collectibles. That's where you're going to find this guy. And have a great day.